Well, good afternoon, everyone. Here we are at Filham Park, which is in Ivybridge, or in fact rests in the shadow of the A38, just to the south of the A38, in fact, where Ivybridge, the village itself, sits just to the north. And you come off the A38, disappear off down a little narrow road, down Godley Lane. I think it was called, no, Godwell Lane, I beg your pardon. Down Godwell Lane you will find this rather splendid facility. So today, somewhat unusually, I'm not using the steady cam, so it's unsteady cam today, and we'll just have to manage as best we can. This is, as you'll know, the last game of the season, as I said before, against Ivybridge. It's an interesting clash today because it's the top of the table clash. We lie in second equal place, with a chance of both promotion and winning the league. All outcomes are indeed possible today, and Ivybridge have batted first. They've scored 184 runs, leaving us a total of 185 to get in 45 overs. Now, on the surface of it, you would say, well, that's a fairly gettable total on a track that suits batting. But Ivybridge are top of the league for a reason. And that means we have to bat well. We have to work hard and do our thing out in the at the crease. I think we can, but time will tell. So we'll see what happens there. Anyway, Ivybridge Cricket Club, been around since about 1930. Hard to tell what the history is before. Before I carry on, I will say that Ivybridge's website is extensive and discourses knowledgeably about its history, which is very nice to see. So I would invite you to visit their website, but I will say that Ivybridge Cricket Club have led a slightly nomadic existence, in the sense they've played in three locations. Here at Filham Park, and before that at Ermy Fields, and then before that at one other location I'm given to understand, whose name I don't recall. But they've come on really well. This is the second team we're playing. I believe the first team plays in, I think, either the A or the B division. Because it's the end of term, I didn't actually look too carefully at that, and I should have done, so apologies to all of you who are thinking, dear oh dear, what an idiot this man is. Well, you'd probably be right anyway, but there we are. It's a little breezy. I'm using my special device to prevent the wind from getting in the way of the microphone. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, and we'll see what happens. So, Ivybridge, 184 for 9. Very nearly got them all out, and as you can see, the players are now gathered at the corner of the pitch, or at the edge of the pitch here, and our opening partnership, Stuart Lepo and Harry Mount, are just about to walk on. The score has been reset to 0. The umpires are now emerging onto the field, and I suspect the activity will go from 0 to slight quite soon. So, I'll walk on around here and I shall contrive other things to say. The season has been an interesting one, I would have to say. When we moved up into the E division from the F division, one expects to acquit oneself well and perhaps win at least as many games as one loses. I think it's fair to say we've done a little better than that. The result of the training and the patient efforts on Thursday nights and the pre-match training and so on has made a huge difference to Chagford Cricket Club, and I think it's now that we can have a little word or two for the coaching staff and David Joseph, who's been an outstanding part of that, and all of the contributors in the background who have done their thing. Richard Taylor, who's umpired throughout the season, thanks very much. He's also our treasurer as well, so he looks after Chagford's treasure and does a good job of it. Chris Mount, the chairman, I mentioned at the beginning of the season, and I mention again at the end, being one of the driving forces behind this, and the rest of the committee, who are, I fear, a little too numerous to mention, but nevertheless, we thank them all. To the players, I couldn't mention them all. But you know, there are 12, 13, 14 or so of them who have done a terrific job. I'm going to move quite quickly past this particular sight screen here. Hopefully you can see some of this. I can't really see the screen, but I'll have a look at it later on and review it. It's because the bowling is coming, I would think, along this imaginary hill here. It's not a slope at all, as you can see. This is really quite flat. To return to Chagford, the efforts put in by everybody, players, umpires, batsmen, bowlers, fielders alike, has been absolutely outstanding in every single way. We are grateful to you all, I think, and I'm only speaking slightly out of turn because it's not really my position to say such a thing, but I thought I would add my 5 penn'orth to this. So play commences, bowler bowls the ball slightly outside off stump. The keeper, who's standing up to the stumps, takes the ball and there is no run. Stewart, taking strike here, allowed the ball to go through, and we have Harry, as I said, at the other end. Bowler trudges back to his mark. You know, some bowlers, they look like they trudge, and this is one of the guys here, as he trudges to the end of his mark and picks himself up now, and he really saunters in and overcomes his arm. Bowls fully pitched, in fact it didn't pitch at all, and was driven firmly straight back to him. He fields it, picks it up and walks back to his mark. They'll be working on the ball, try and get it to swing and so on, and apply as much pressure as they can, and all we have to do is to go along and score at a rate of about 4 or so and over, maybe 4.5, that sort of thing, to keep us in charge with this rate, and not lose wickets. So there we have wide there. So the first runs come from wides and an extra run there for the running of it. Wicket-keeper missed that one, and he pushed it past the slip fielder. That takes us to 2 runs now, total of 2 runs off 4 balls or 3 balls or so. So I shall reside here for a short while. You can see umpire Taylor in the foreground there, and Harry Mount prepares to take his first delivery. Bowler comes in and overcomes his arm again, and yes, it's reasonably well pitched delivery, tending towards the leg side. Harry goes to play towards the leg side and edges onto his pad. There is no run. So here we go again. Bowler will turn round in a minute, begin his run up. So we'll be quiet for just a second, and here we go once again. And he bowls. That was full Yorker length delivery, nicely played, well kept out by Harry. I'll talk a little bit at the end of this over about the fielding performance today from my memory, and maybe we can give a few people some name checks here. It was a good performance in the field, I think, and I'll add to this being my final monologue of the year, and we'll see about that. Bowler comes in now and bowls slightly short pitched, and that's hit away on the leg side. As you can see, that's away for the first boundary of the match for us, and pursued by the player. That's Harry off the mark with 4 runs. Fieldsman encouraged the bowler, just tell him keep his line, keep his length, don't panic. The ball's new and hard, it'll come onto the bat well, which means that it'll leave the bat equally well as well. I believe firmly this is a good track for batting on, and this is the sort of place where you find out who can bowl then. So he comes in, bowls again, and played forward by Harry, and there is no run, and that's the over. So in our fielding performance, there was some notable bowling. Jake, our captain, Jake Griffiths, bowled with great vigour, great vim, a little bit of a way swing. Didn't really get the reward he truly deserved there. I think he's bowled as well today as he's ever bowled, but he took the opening batsman's off stump very nearly out the ground, and that was a terrific delivery that just swung away late. He played down the leg, down to the middle stump area, and the ball castled him on his off stump. Jack Breenath bowled fabulously for his 9 overs. Again, miserly in his dispensing of runs to the other side. His late in swing proved to be a huge problem to all of the batsmen, and he didn't go for very many runs at all. We had cameos from Adam and Will Barclay, who came in to support the mid-order, and Stuart Lipo bowled a full spell, and Ben Lanyon bowled a nearly full spell but suffered with an injury and had to pull up halfway through an over, and that over was completed by Harry Mount. So he's been quite involved today, is our Harry. So new bowler then, second over, comes in and overcomes his arm and fully pitched, straight delivery, and you'll notice that the wicketkeeper's standing back a little bit here, so this is a little bit more penetrative, this particular bowling. And I'm just next to the nets here. I won't show you the nets at this stage, but there's a 2-lane net here, which is part of the training facility for Ivybridge Cricket Club. It's a very, very nice area, it has to be said. So here we are, second ball, and Stuart leaves alone outside the off stump, and that's called wide by umpire Taylor there. So wides are on to 3. They've made a solid start, it would appear, and Harry's obviously top scorer at the moment with 4. So we'll see what we'll see. Stuart, experienced campaigner at the top of the order here, and comes forward in defence, plays the ball back to the bowler, who fields off his own bowling, and there is no run. And so we'll just walk back. I'll give you a quick flash of the clubhouse facility in a little minute, and then we'll call a halt to the proceedings for this particular season, and I'll say a few words just right at the end. Nothing fantastic, but just a few words of thanks. Bowler comes in, over comes his arm, and Stuart plays out into the extra cover area. It's fielded and there is no run. So we'll have a quick glance at the clubhouse. As you can see, centre of this you've got the changing areas for home and away sides, and then up the steps on the other side you've got a balcony area, and the bar is inside the roof, as it were. It's a nice facility, and you've got an electronic scoreboard, and also there's a little hutch for the equipment, for the grounds equipment. So here we are, coming back to the end here with just a quick flash of players here. Look, some of whom are saying, oh, hello. Yes, there we are, look. Good men, there we are, look. A little bit of a line-up there for you. And I'll say, for this year, thank you very much. Well, there's my finger going over the camera there. But I'll say thanks very much for this year. It's been my pleasure to deliver these little monologues to camera for you. I hope that you've enjoyed them. You can very easily tell me to stop, and I will do, but it's been a great pleasure to do them. And for this year, I'll say thanks very much and goodbye for now.